Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lumium 101. Today you're going to learn all of the basic and advanced elements of Lumium lighting in a fun, informative webinar. So sit back, relax, grab a blankie. We're going to have some fun with linear lighting. Let's get started. My name is MJ, and yes, I'm even suggesting that this webcast is going to be fun. In fact, that's one of two words that we live by every day, being fun and memorable, and you'll see that in our marketing, in our product development, in our service, and hopefully you'll find that this presentation is fun as well. We're going to reveal some of the secrets, some of the exciting and exclusive shapes and technologies that you can only find from Lumium. So here we go. Start out with the logo screen. How exciting is that? More about the logo and its tagline, lighting at its element. So we use this whole chemistry theme throughout our product line. We have our products named after elements like nitrogen and hydrogen and oxygen. We have our own periodic table of elements in the brochure and in the website. So it's our fun way of being memorable through chemistry, although I don't know who thought chemistry is fun, but Lumium's bringing that back. So here's a little glimpse into the history of the company. Been around for about 7 years now. Started as one of those little garage companies in Oceanside, couple of employees, couple of product lines. A couple of years after that, moved up to Orange County, and now we're up to almost 80 employees, I believe, over 50 product lines. So proud of the company that we've built in just a short period of time. Here's the biggest news we have to reveal is that merger between EcoSense and Lumium. And Lumium's always been an expert in product design, in industrial design, mechanical design, but EcoSense brings to the table all that and more. So they have excellent access to experts in new electronic technologies, optical performance, and also manufacturing capabilities that Lumium hadn't had before. And so I'll be revealing what some of those plans are in some coming slides here. A little glimpse into our factory in Orange County. This is actually our headquarters in Costa Mesa. About 20,000 square feet, about 5 minutes from John Wayne Airport, if you're familiar with Southern California. But we've just built a second 20,000 square foot facility a few minutes away in Anaheim. So now over 40,000 square feet. Everything's QC tested before it goes out the door. Everything's officially made in the USA. We're even building some cool learning labs and showrooms. So if you find yourself in Southern California, please stop by. We'd love for you to check it all out. So take a deep breath, taking you back to high school chemistry. This is just our fun, lighthearted way of presenting our product. Don't take this too seriously. But as you zoom into our periodic table, you see we have a couple of secrets here. Certainly the name of the product, the dimensions, the profile shape. By the way, this product is pronounced yttrium for those who are wondering. And in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see these icons will tell you whether it's single direction, bidirectional, or even polydirectional light coming around all sides of the luminaire. That's unique from Lumium. That little red dot there will tell you whether it's integral or remote. So if that driver, that power supply is located physically inside of that housing, you'll see that red dot there. With the yttrium, it's actually remote, so you'll see it disappear. And certainly the product code corresponds with the element as well. But the table also shows different families. So for each profile shape, we'll have 2, 3, 4, even 5 different sizes of that profile. So for example, up pops oxygen here, our round series. It can be as small as 15 sixteenths, less than an inch, to as big as 3.5 inches. So the idea here is proportionality. We can be in small offices, small spaces, small conference rooms, all the way up to big lobbies and airports and atriums and expansive spaces like that. We'll have that proportionality built within the product line, pretty much for almost all of the series. So this slide just cycles through the rest of the families. We've got planks and triangles and rounds and squares. And I always tell my customers, we're not going to bore you today by talking about all of these basic shapes. We're going to focus more on the right-hand side of our periodic table, more of our edgier, cooler fixtures. But know that we have all of those basics built into the product line, lots of different lensing options, that proportionality, and we'll talk about why that's so important in the end. So here's another little secret insight into Lumium lighting. The first letter of the product name will give you an intuitive idea of the shape of that profile. So for instance, all of our rectangular products start with an H because an H is taller than it is wide. All of our square products start with an N because an N appears square. All of our round products start with an O. All of our T's, our triangular products start with a T. So it's just our fun way of even tying that product line into those element names even a little bit further. So I have customers call me and say, I'm looking at the neodymium series. And so that tells me right away, okay, it's even if I don't know what shape neodymium is, I know that it starts with an N, therefore it's a square profile, and I'll have a little bit of idea of what we're talking about without having to refer back to this table. So that's a little insight that not too many people know about. There's a couple other groupings if you're looking for something with a little bit more cleaner lines, straighter edge. We've got 19 rectilinear options. If you're looking for something with a little bit more rounded appeal, a little bit more softer edge, we've got curvilinear options. But I love this slide. 15 different fixtures that are 2 inches in profile or less. So all of Lumium's luminaires are built for LEDs from the inside out. We didn't take old fluorescent products and jam them with LEDs and hope for the best. No, we actually built these specifically for LEDs, and as a result, you can get some really small form factors, do some other mechanical things that you couldn't have done with fluorescent tubes before, and we'll dive into that a little bit more. But look, a couple of these have that red dot, meaning they're integral. A couple of them have that up-down icon. That's pretty hard to do in a little 2-inch profile, so we're proud of what we've been able to accomplish there. All right, so now I'm going to start showing you some of our cooler, edgier fixtures. And the first one I'm going to show you is palladium. We love our hollow luminaires. They clearly say, I am not fluorescent. I'm something cooler and better than that. This product is an up-down luminaire. You can get a bat wing on the upside, but it's also hard to tell scale on the screen here. This guy's only 2 inches wide, 4 inches high, so a nice soft curved end cap detail, not too over designed. You can control the top and bottom output separately, but just a real beautiful, elegant luminaire that can fit into a lot of spaces. Next one I want to show you is Proton. We have a subatomic series of that really highlight a lot of the sleek form factors that you can get with LED sources. This guy's only 5/8 of an inch high, 2 inches wide, a nice curved end cap detail. It can be uplight or a downlight, but really highlights some of those beautiful thin luminaires that are available now with new solid state sources. Got a couple of magic fixtures to show you. This is tantalum. Also very sleek luminaire, just 5/8 of an inch high, 4 inches wide. This is a total side elevation view. And look where that mounting point is, all the way in the back of the luminaire, right? So I'm going to show you a 3/4 view here on screen. Look where those mounting points are, all the way recessed. It's almost kind of like a cantilever mount or asymmetric mount. It's really kind of one of those head scratcher fixtures that you really haven't seen before out there. And it's done through counterbalancing. There's a big fat piece of steel back there, and on top of that fat piece of steel, it is a batwing uplight. And on the downlight, that can even become adjustable as well. So imagine a nice long corridor, seeing that asymmetric cantilever mount, maybe highlighting some wall washing, doing some artwork. Could be a very cool feature luminaire. You'll notice on this slide, the end cap has kind of a curved end cap detail. You can also get something that's a little bit more rectilinear, a little bit more squared off if that's what you prefer. So that is tantalum. Next one I'll show you is carbon zero, another hollow luminaire. Again, you can control both sides separately. You get a bat wing on the upside. Just a nice curved, elegant hourglass shape, a little bit of a bow tie appeal. So this one's obviously hollow, and therefore there's no place to put that driver assembly inside. But we do offer an integral version that still has that elegant bow tie shape. And so this one's available both integral and remote. Very unique, only from Lumium. Next one I want to show you is Neutron. It starts with an N, therefore it's a square profile, but meant to be hung in a diamond pattern. So this one actually has two 90-degree lenses, one on top, one on bottom, but lensing on all four sides. So this is officially a polydirectional luminaire, and we use this fixture a lot through a lot of our custom capabilities, and I'll show you some of those examples coming up. So remember Neutron. We even took 4 of these luminaires, added on a square hollow end cap. Now that outer lens I can keep white, and that inner lens I can do some really cool glow effects. So this is just through a static theatrical color filter. It's an affordable way, just add a touch of color, tie it into a corporate logo or a school mascot. But we use Lee color filters. There's over 200 to choose from. There's 40 reds and 50 blues. You can dial in just into that shade that you like. But you can hang it horizontally and vertically. This is a very cool feature luminaire. Next one I'm going to show you is Yttrium. It's a hollow luminaire. It's probably one of our most popular hollow fixtures, but it's a wheel specified with spokes. So you can get up to 4 spokes. I'm showing it with 3 here, 2 up, 1 down, but you can get 2 up, 2 down, or 1 up, 1 down. You can hang it horizontally, you can hang it vertically. It's even a cool quad mount that I'll show you here in a moment. Some inspiration shots showing different Yttrium applications. It's a 1 up, 1 down over a folding table. Nice open office space. I like this photo here. Really highlights that the benefit of that hollow luminaire. So the other option of doing this type of pixie stick setup would be solid tubes of light. But that might appear to be a little bit too bright, a little bit too heavy in the space. So that hollowness really lightens up that ceiling plane. But not only are these fixtures decorative, they're providing all of the ambient lighting as well. There's no downlights or other fill lights. These guys are really the workhorse in the space and looking good. So I love to point out this application shot. Look at this, carrying that hollow theme all the way through the corners here. This is a fully machined aluminum part, exactly like our end caps. And this is a good time to talk about the benefits of machining, and nobody else is doing that. So what we do is a process that's very different from our competitors. There's the other way of creating a part like this, a solid aluminum part, is through die casting. And that's pouring a hot aluminum into a very expensive mold, $50,000 or $100,000 for these molds. That factory has to sell a lot of that part to make that investment back. But not only that, every time you take a die cast part out of the mold, you got to clean it up a little bit. And that means every part is slightly different than the one in front of it and then the one behind it. And we're not doing that. We're taking a solid chunk of aluminum, a solid build of aluminum, putting that into a milling machine with a computer program that then goes in there and whittles and takes away all the parts and pieces of that chunk that you don't want. And the result is a very precise part within a thousandth of an inch. That part is the same as the one before it and the one after it. And I'll tell you why that precision is really important at the end. Couple of other new fixtures that we've just introduced. This is Iodine. It's a clear acrylic box with an LED uplight and a downlight. And we found that we introduce LEDs into this clear acrylic box, it actually traps the light, and only where you frost it is where light will spill out. So you can get different frosted edges, different frosted planes, you can do stripes, you can engrave words or logos. You can get different drop depths, up to 12-inch drop depth. Again, there's an batwing uplight, so a very versatile luminaire from Lumium. This is also a fun luminaire. This is covalent, sort of these solid cores within these different shroud options. So you can get a single shroud, a two-sided shroud, or a three-sided shroud. The twos and threes can be wall mounted, but there's 3 levels of illumination on these guys. There's the downlight, that uplight component, and also that little inner glow there. That's also done with a color filter, but can be a very cool feature, and it's definitely a fun luminaire that nobody's seen before. So far you've been looking at all these products like their horizontal cable suspended luminaires, and certainly that's a big part of our business. We can also do cable suspended rotational, a fixed arm, a rotational arm. Can attach them to back boxes or standoffs, directly to walls, directly to ceilings. We say you decide how you want to attach them to the building and we'll make it happen for you. And here's a couple of projects with different mounting capabilities. This is our rotational arm mount. This is a fun story as well. This is a project that I worked on in San Francisco, a very historic building called the War Memorial Building. They actually signed the original UN Charter in this building. Not a lot of people know that the original UN was here in San Francisco. But I worked on this project with the opera because they wanted to take over the 4th floor of this building and feature their archive photography. So in one hallway, this is one of 2 hallways. The other one was black and white. This was all the color photography. And everything looked great on paper until they installed it. Called me back the next day. MJ, big problem. As you look down each of these hallways, the fixtures snaked in and out of the walls. The reason why? The walls were historic, right? The walls were wavy. We actually have a built-in mechanism in the armature that allows you to pull it in and out of the wall and even pitch it up and down a couple of degrees. So we made these adjustments by eye, and this is the after photo, and you can see just how nice and clean we were able to do that after just running a plumb line. That's a fun story. We do living walls, surface mount, direct conduit feed. Everything's damp location rated. You know, just most of your projects, you should reserve Lumium for the indoor space. But as long as it doesn't get direct rain or direct high pressure hose down, there's obviously other applications. This is a project in Denver, and it's been there for 5 years, and just visited it a couple of months ago in the harshest time of winter. And I got to tell you, it looked beautiful just like day one. Some other mounting capabilities, in mounts, wall mounts. This seems to be a popular application photo. Unique approach to lighting a seating area. All right, you ready to see another magic fixture? This one's jaw-dropping. Look at this. Single mounting point, totally balanced luminaire. Yes, I've even seen a 7-foot long version of this, 5 feet lit, 2 feet counterbalance. Usually the main question I get is, well, won't this thing swing around in HVAC and drafts, etc.? And the answer is yeah. Sometimes designers think that's kind of cool that every time you come into the space, that fixture will be in a different location. Now, if you were up against a window or in a corridor, we do have a rigid tube available to lock it in place. You wouldn't want it knocking up against the glass or walls, so we do have that rigid tube available. It comes from the factory totally balanced, but what if you didn't want it to be totally balanced? What if you wanted to do 10 or 12 random pixie sticks falling through the sky in a lobby space? We actually have a built-in mechanism called the worm drive, and just by turning that end cap, you can shift where the weight is in that unlit counterbalance, and on site get different pitches and angles out of the luminaire without even having to pre-design anything. Gives you a lot of flexibility on site to create these random patterns. We call this photo Jedi Graduation Day. Hopefully you're laughing about that joke. But the point is, you don't really have to have this lightsaber looking luminaire. It's really just another mounting option. You don't have to make it look like a lightsaber. You can get it with our square extrusions, our rounds, our squares, rectangles, etc. Another fun luminaire I'd like to show you is Light Stream. Another easy way to add just a touch of color to your project without going too crazy with it. It's offered on two of our shapes, radium and rubidium. Again, it's through a color filter. There's no additional wattage for that little glow. It's really just grabbing the side candela out of those top and bottom LEDs to create that little striking little color stream. You can get into sages and sandstones and different colors like that. We find healthcare companies find the quality of light that comes out of radium and rubidium is excellent for their spaces, and they can also take advantage to tie that luminaire back into their logo pretty easily as well. So that is Light Stream. So we have a unique powered suspension system when you use it with use our luminaires with remote drivers. We do offer integral fixtures, and when we do, you see how it is on screen. We have to have that thicker high voltage cable coming down that fixture. We have to have those hardware pieces above the luminaire, so there's a logical safe place for that cable to enter the luminaire. But if you're willing to remote that driver, and with Lumium you can remote that driver up to 100 feet away. So we say put them all in one cabinet, make it easy for the contractor to get to them. You don't have to have a ladder to get up into each fixture, and you get rid of all of that extra mounting stuff. You get rid of that thick cable, you get rid of those hardware pieces, you get rid of the zip ties that contractors tend to add. Just have a much cleaner, uncluttered appearance in the ceiling as a result. How about canopies? We even machine our canopies out of aluminum, so we don't spin them from a disc of aluminum. We're actually taking that solid core of aluminum as well and machining these out of that solid billet. Certainly you can get the round shapes that you see here, but you can also get some unique shapes like squares and rectangles and triangles. So that's unique to Lumium. And you see that gripper, that also extends out into the room space. So we hear this a lot. What if we were able to get rid of all of that entirely? We see that as a lot of blemishes on the ceiling. And what if we could get rid of all of that ceiling acne? Well, we have a way of doing that with our zero canopy system. And the way it works is that gripper and those connections are hidden behind a magnetic access panel. So the contractor brings that sheetrock right up under that 40J box, up into that flange, and muds right up to that magnetic access panel. The contractor, toolless entry, just tips it out with his finger, makes those adjustments with the cable cord, makes the connections, snaps that plate back into place. You paint everything the same color, and you get rid of all of that entirely. You get rid of the canopy, you get rid of the gripper, you just have this nice, elegant cable hanging right out of the ceiling plane. That's our zero canopy system. Again, another exclusive from Lumium. How about continuous runs? We have a unique way of doing continuous runs as well. There's actually a hole in the top side of the luminaire. Contractor puts in his Allen key. There's 4 guide pins that align everything, and this internal locking mechanism that actually sucks the two pieces together. It's quite impressive. And some other continuous run capabilities that we have here. I like this one, a spiral down a hallway. Do a lot of schools. This is a fun project that we just worked on Sunset Boulevard in Los Angeles. This is a restaurant that just opened, but look at that. That's a 32-foot long run with no suspension points. And the reason why is that glass window over there is actually a garage door that opens over and above the luminaire. So we couldn't have any suspension points. What we ended up doing is running a catenary system, two high tension cables between those concrete pillars, and essentially hung the luminaire from those cables and added stiffeners at the joints to prevent any sagging. Turned out to be a beautiful span without any suspension points. Certainly that's a custom project, but shows you the versatility you can get with Lumium. We do recess as well, 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, mud-in, flange, flangeless, T-bar, transitions. Just have that nice color consistency between lensing, diode color, CCT. Just have that nice consistency between your recessed, your wall mount, and your suspended. How about corners? Certainly we can do that traditional custom cut 32.6 degree welded fully illuminated corner if you want, whatever angle you can think of. Or we can also do an unlit machine corner. It's one of the benefits through a machining process is you either get a curved or squared off corner. You kind of see that more contemporary appeal that's in that application photo on the left. Here's our mitered and welded system. But we also have a third way of doing corners, and that's our new hinged corner system. So imagine zigzags, odd shapes, perimeters around walls and corners and pillars. Can be a very unique fixture to create some of those nice sculptural elements, but also be able to do it affordably. So it's just another in-cap option. You're not paying for the factory to do that pre-mitering and welding and painting. So there's some cost savings there. But on site, very versatile as well. Who knows what kind of HVAC's been moved over a couple of inches right where that suspension point was supposed to be, or new conduit's been added, etc. If that was pre-mitered and welded, there's not a lot you can do on site. With this hinge system, you can easily jimmy around some of those on-site obstacles that tend to pop up. So that is our 2D hinge. That is for a single plane of movement. If we have a 2D hinge, that means we also must have a 3D hinge. So yeah, this is definitely a cool exclusive from Lumium. Imagine the sculptural elements over walls, through walls, maybe even a double helix in a healthcare facility. Practically, it can be a nice long line of light down a stairwell. It's available with any of our square extrusions, and if you use it with that sculptural element, we recommend that you use it with Neutron. Remember, that's that extrusion with lensing on all four sides, so that wherever you see that sculpture, you'll see some illuminated elements. So that is definitely a fun exclusive from Lumium as well. If you haven't noticed by now, we're all about our beautiful end caps. We spent a lot of time on the machining and the precision of these parts. We hear the words Lumium jewelry quite a bit, but just beautiful beveled edges, that lathe finish. But if you ever see a sample in person, notice the tight tolerances between the lensing and the end cap and the body. Just a lot of precision built within the Lumium product line. All extruded aluminum as well. Certainly leads to the precision of the assembly. Comes to finishes, we only have one standard finish, and that is this the one you see on the left-hand side of your screen, which is a satin clear anodized extrusion. The housing body is going to be an anodized light gray. It almost appears white in most situations with that shiny machine cap finish. So you kind of have to like that two-tone look. We will paint that end cap to match the body, but we always say we have a little moment of silence in the factory when somebody wants to paint one of our beautiful end caps, but we certainly do it every day. But the point is that since we only have one standard finish, just with a couple more dollars per foot, maybe a couple more days of lead time, we can really achieve anything. We're getting into different bronzes and golds. I saw a copper penny and a rose gold request the other day. We get into all kinds of color anodized, powder coats, RAL colors. That specular appeals very to those chrome lovers. So lots of different options when it comes to finish. So I'm almost done here. Just one last section here on custom. We do not shy away from that custom term. In fact, that machining process gives us a lot of agility when it comes to custom. So if you wanted that end cap to be a little bit thicker, you wanted to engrave a logo, that's no problem. That's just another computer program, not another $50,000 mold. So it gives us a lot of ability to create a single fixture pretty easily and affordably. This is a project, pretty high-end winter clothing brand in the Northwest. They wanted a product that zigged and zagged back upon itself. So we prepared those corners and intersections at the factory and then used that single seam continuous run system to pull everything together and make it look like one big monolithic luminaire. That was a fun project for us. How about wood? Looking to bring those natural elements back into the indoors. We're coming out with a standard series very soon of 5 real wood elements. You can get wood wings as you see here, do different inlays and veneers. We even have a wood channel that you can use to bring that and totally embed that luminaire inside that wood. So watch for that coming soon. Here's some different custom projects that we did recently, just for inspiration. These are some products that we've created through that machining process. We're famous for our cubes that you see in the upper right hand corner. But that's that neutron system. That's the extrusion with a very precise machined end cap. That really highlights that benefit of machining, because you certainly couldn't have that precise corner to connect all those parts with a die cast system. There's an engineering firm that created those cubes as well. We've even made cocktail tables and coffee tables, etc. So lots of fun built within the product line. Now you may be thinking at this point, boy, this product line is beautiful. All machined end caps, all extruded aluminum. Looks like some amazing features, and they seem to perform well. Well, they look like they're expensive, and that's the biggest surprise that I want to present to you, is this is actually a very affordable brand. In fact, inside of our brochure and on our website, there's one more hidden secret into our periodic table, and that is a built-in product price guide. So see the color coding around all the tiles? On the right-hand side, all the yellow ones, most expensive, more LEDs, more metal, more drivers, etc. The blue ones are sort of mid-range, but look at all of these green ones. I'm talking VE priced. These on an 8-footer, on a single direction fixture like nitrogen, I'm talking a contractor net out the door price at less than $100 a foot. And that's unheard of with this type of quality. And it's one of the biggest obstacles that we have to overcome with our marketing is people see this product line and think, yeah, it's beautiful, but I can't design around it. And that's where we have to go, no, this is a Cadillac at Chevy prices. Certainly you can save us for those key conference room areas where you need an edgy, cool fixture over that conference room table or in that elevator lobby space. But we can also get to that price point where we are the footage over the desks, over the cubicles. We're that type A general ambient luminaire, and we play in that space every day. Now you may be wondering how this is possible. How are we able to produce such a high quality fixture at these prices? And the answer is, I've been hinting at it all along. It's through the precision of these parts that when they make it down to our assembly room floor, they either snap together or they don't. So we've taken most of the labor costs out of building these luminaires. You'll find we don't have high-end artisans or welders or metal benders. We've taken most of the labor costs out of these fixtures, and so what you and your customer get is a much higher quality luminaire at the same or better price as, say, a bent metal fixture that had to have a lot of hands touch it. And that's our secret. With them, you're paying for the labor. With us, you're paying for the materials. Almost done here. 5-year warranty standard. We can get to a 10-year warranty if you need that. We have same-day tech support. We'll help you with quotes and drawings, layouts, and custom. Typical lead time is 3 to 4 weeks, but one of the great things with EcoSense is by the end of the year, we're hoping to get that down to 2 weeks or less. Help you with fast-track projects and immediate warranty support. We're going to take care of you no matter what. Such as that opera project, it wasn't our fault that that wall was wavy, but we brought in our people on our dime. Just wanted to make sure everybody was happy at the end, and Lumium will stand behind you as well. So in summary, Certainly, you can think of us for those very important high-profile spaces, but also remember Lumium for that affordable solution with that very high-quality luminaire for your footage spaces as well. All machined end caps, nobody's doing that. All extruded aluminum. Polydirectional is unique to us. That single seam is pretty cool, I think. We can do 3D hinged or illuminated corners. Our canopies are machined out of aluminum, or you can get rid of them altogether with that zero canopy system. That power over aircraft cable. That single mounting point with adjustability. Getting into some wood options. Lightstream is cool. Totally made in North America. Have fun with our custom. We're priced right. And we're fun to hang out with. So that is the end of my presentation today. Thank you for joining us. When you think about Lumium, certainly think about a fun product line. You get to sink your teeth back into lighting again. Lots of features built in just for contractors. But remember, it's also a very affordable brand that you can feel comfortable designing around. Again, thank you for your time. This has been Lumium 101, and let's start discovering together.